Have you ever received a suspicious email that you ended up ignoring or immediately deleting? If I had to guess, most of you would probably say yes, at least to the part about receiving a suspicious email. And hopefully you also answered yes to ignoring or deleting it, because chances are that these were phishing attempts. In 2020, phishing emails were the most common tactic by cybercriminals to steal data, so a majority of people probably received one. If you engage with these messages, then it's possible you'll end up with your data compromised. For companies, this can result in massive financial impacts. To prevent this from happening at your organization, you want to make sure that all of your employees know how to avoid phishing scams. But how do you do this? Hi everyone, I'm Matt from eTactics, and today I'm going to share 5 tips for sending phishing awareness emails to your team. Before we get started though, make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel by clicking the button below. While you're down there, hit that alert bell icon next to it as well, so when we post new helpful content, you get notified. The first step to sending a phishing awareness email is to explain what phishing even is. Phishing sounds exactly like fishing with an F, as in the activity of catching those little creatures that live in the water. But of course, that isn't the kind of phishing that I'm referring to. So you need to explain what this is to your team as well. If people don't know what these scams are or what they look like, they'll be more likely to fall victim to an attempt. Once you explain what this type of cybersecurity threat is, you also need to describe the different methods of phishing. While email is the most common type that hackers use for these scams, there are also almost 20 different methods that they could use. So your team needs to be able to identify these other threats outside of just their inboxes as well. After they know all the types of phishing, explain what they should watch out for. What red flags indicate that the message is actually phishing? How can you know that a pop-up isn't safe and will actually download malware to a device? Explaining each of the red flags gives them a better understanding of how to actually prevent attacks rather than just knowing what an attempt is. To make your awareness emails more effective, add statistics and shock value. This will grab the recipient's attention so they realize just how common and serious these attacks can be. In 2020 alone, 75% of all organizations worldwide experienced a phishing attack. A majority of these were successful in stealing data or compromising networks. A phishing attack costs an average of $4.65 million, and businesses lose almost $18,000 every minute from these attacks. Including numbers like I just gave you into your phishing awareness emails will grab your team's attention so that they realize just how serious these threats are and why they need to be cautious. Finally, make your team aware of any active phishing attempts by emailing them with a heads up. Hackers will go after multiple people within an organization to maximize the chance that someone will fall for their tactics. So if one person from your company receives a phishing email, it's important to make everyone aware that there's been an attempt. That way, they know to stay extra vigilant and will recognize the hacker's message as a threat if they do receive it themselves. Because phishing attempts can have serious consequences for organizations, staff need to know how to identify and avoid these threats. Email phishing campaigns are the most common technique by cybercriminals, and they're the second costliest form of a data breach. But these threats don't need to be inevitable. As with anything in cybersecurity, training is necessary. And you can continue to offer this training through phishing awareness emails that you send to your employees. That way, they continue to get reminders of how to recognize attempts and avoid falling for scams. If you'd like to learn more about phishing awareness emails, reach out to eTactics. And you already made this far into the video, so you might as well like it, share it, and comment below. Well, what are you waiting for? Subscribe to our YouTube channel.